Alright everybody, it took me a little bit of time, but we are finally at who is the official worst hero, maybe a little bit of a community vote in here. So obviously I've given my thoughts on a few people. I had the Leper, the Runaway, the Grave Rapper, and Occultist all kind of in the same area, and we're really going to dive deep to figure out who is the worst. If you for some reason think it's somebody else other than those four, obviously please let me know, though I would have to pretty strongly disagree that there's probably a worse person than those four I just listed. So let's get into it. We'll start with the Leper, because I've talked a lot about the Leper. Why could the Leper be seen as bad? So obviously, much like the first game, he's really bad against protection-based enemies. He can only hit the front row, and obviously in this game, his accuracy is even worse of an issue because he's always self-blinding himself. However, you can obviously make the counter argument where you can remove blind tokens and reliably hit with them. That is also true. However, he does either need items, luck, or team setup to allow him to constantly be removing those blinds or be set up through combo tokens such as the Jester. So once again, he can definitely work, he's just not the most party friendly. Also, a huge thing I wasn't a fan of, even with the Tempest Path, very good, 33% on chop skills. It's a massive damage range, and sometimes it's like, 8 to 24, it's just massive, and if you get the low end of damage in this game, it just kind of sucks, because maybe you used a combo token for that, you used an item, you end up doing 8 to 10 damage, which other damage dealers can obviously do. So I'm not a huge fan, actually, of the wide range of damage he does. Now, he can hit for disgusting damage, of course. We all know that. Poet's not bad. Poet's obviously more of a tank, which is fine. And then you have Monarch, which is kind of also a tank slash utility. It's kind of weird. It's a very weird build. So his hero paths aren't the greatest. Poet and Tempest are probably the ones you're going to be doing. If you really want to go a weird cheese build, you can kind of do Monarch. But his self-sustain and tank ability is definitely what probably raises him well above being the worst hero in the game now. I always knew he was kind of a good tank, but then I started thinking about it, and like when I was playing him, I was like, alright, he is rather tanky, he does really well, so let's just give him a fair shake. So we're also going to move on to the next person. I don't think the Leper's the worst anymore. I think the next three are going to be rather hotly contested. Runaway. Alright, so let's just go to skills real quick. So pretty much, the reason why I could really see the Runaway being on there is you pretty much spam 4 abilities, to be honest, and I'll put them on there. It's about 5 maybe at most. Where is it? Yeah, maybe 6 if you really push it, though Searing Strike's not all that great in my opinion. So she's a back row damage dealer. She's essentially the counterpart of the Plague Doctor, just fire based. However, the Plague Doctor obviously has just way better skills entirely, has multiple forms of heals, and the heals does not have a condition such as cauterizes, requiring the target to be bleeding. However, though, my like for the Hellion obviously is supplemented by the Runaway. So they're definitely a good combo, but the Hellion can definitely work without the Runaway without the Hellion. I mean, obviously can work, but it's always nice to have that synergy of healing the Hellion and having that option to heal the front row while you have another healer take care of the other person. I really like Smokescreen, especially when it's upgraded. However, it is RNG and it doesn't hit the 4th position, so even though it gives you all that juicy vulnerability, the blinds and all that stuff, you do have to reliably have them happen, and it does have a cooldown of 1 turn still. It would be a lot better if it did not have a cooldown. Now, Firefly is like the skill, and you will just spam the ever-loving crap out of it, and that's kind of why she's also bad, because it is her main skill. So obviously when she goes into the Burning City, she really doesn't do much. The only other really good cheese thing you could do with her is Firestarter, if maybe you want to pair that with Magnesium Rain, and obviously stack on 6 burned every individual. That'd be really good as well. So there are a few ways you could definitely use her in a party, but she's kind of limited, and her paths are okay. I find Arson being the best one. 33% res piercing is really good. Honestly, I don't know why they just don't say increase resistance chance. I guess it's a little different, because if they have 0 burn resist, I guess it doesn't technically. Well, no, because 0... Yeah, I don't know why they just don't say 33% chance. Oh well. Survivor, I haven't tried it, to be honest. It's obviously the more utility kind, which, you know, it's not bad. You know, she gets a speed token. It's not bad. It's definitely a utility build. I haven't played it, but I would consider it. And then Orphan, I thought it was really cool. And then I thought about it, and I was like, well, like, it's uniquely, it's weird. It's good and it's not good. Like, obviously the minus damage, but you get more DOT, or you obviously do more damage minus DOT. But the fire starter with a crit, it's kind of all over the place. She definitely has her places and quirks, but overall I would probably say she's rather limited in her use, and there's probably other people better in her position. Alright, then we get to the Occultist. The Occultist, I think his style fits him in the first game way better. I think a lot of his skills actually have use and can be really good. The only problem is I just don't know if it really like stacks for as long as you're gonna play him, and he's much better against bosses than regular enemies, I would say. Like, some of his skills are really great. Obviously, like, vulnerability hex is really good. Weakening curse is really good. It's just, I feel like a lot of the abilities are good if you have long time to obviously build up his chaos and stuff like that. And regular fights, I feel like after 2 or 3 turns, don't really get to build much up. So when you have longer fights where you can be neutralizing them or making them vulnerable, I feel like the Occultist really excels at his game. However, in a game of pure damage rushing, even with some of his skill paths, which one is it? Yeah, even Aspirant. Oh man. Well, regardless, you should look that up. I mean, he can do decent, like, his stuff is pretty good. Like, I'm not going to say he has no place, but I definitely do feel like, even like the 25% damage on ranged, I mean, like, that goes to 5 and 9, which, you know, but like, he can get the stuns when he gets to, like, he's not bad. He just needs time to build up, and the way Darkest Dungeon 2 has positioned itself does not want you to take your time. You have conditions on how you can heal people. You have conditions on when you can stress heal, and taking your time in the first game allowed you to remove stress and all that stuff, and in this game, no, you don't get to remove stress. The faster you kill your enemies, the better. The faster you get through the game, the less stress you take, all that jumbo mumbo crap. So really, having a slightly slower paced person is not ideal in Darkest Dungeon 2. I think if they were to have a normal gameplay, I think you would see the Occultist rise a little more and probably the Runaway sink a little more. But based on how the game is currently set up, I really do think the Occultist, maybe no, obviously not the worst, but I do think he struggles to keep up with how good some of the other people are in this game. And finally, we get to Grave Robber, who is probably my vote for the worst character in the game. And, yeah, we'll talk through it. I think the Grave Robber actually has some really useful stuff. I just think it's all too selfish for the Darkest Dungeon 2 style. And I just gotta look at the wiki a little bit here, because the Grave Robber is one of those people who do not really have their hero paths like well mapped out for them. So I'm just gonna have to go through the wiki here real quick to describe what exactly happens with it. So obviously Deadeye just improves the damage and crit of all range skills at the expense of melee. I mean, the only real melee skill she got is what, pick to the face. I mean, oh, and lunge. Yeah, so if you're not going to do pick to the face and lunge, Deadeye may not be a bad choice. I mean, obviously it does affect all of those skills, well, minus lunge and honestly pick to the face, but the other ones get more damage, which isn't bad. I wish they kind of gave the damage numbers there, but it's okay. Then you get Venom Drop. So Venom Drop's a weird one because it decreases her speed, does more damage when you're stealthed. So it's not terrible, but it's kind of weird because, once again, this game really wants you to utilize like burst damage and taking a turn to maybe stealth yourself to just do some extra blight, come out with maybe some like, it doesn't feel as powerful because of just the time constraints and the ability to blow people up. I'm just going to keep saying that because it's really important to blow people up quick, and you know, having to be stealth to get the +2 blight. Honestly, +2 blight is not even that good. So I feel like Venom drops M. Maybe I'm missing something there, but I just really don't think it's that great. And then we also have Night Sworn. This is where you could probably, you know, really light things up. Pirouette, it's probably one of the better abilities in the game, to be honest. And, you know, it kind of does like pirouette into lunge. Like, it's a pretty good thing. So I wouldn't say Night Sworn is bad, and it probably offers some really decent damage and allows a dancing composition. So this would probably be the best, where you really get to explode on some damage. 50% damage is huge. So I really like that aspect of it. But all of her skills are really selfish, because if we're going to look at them, obviously that's just melee damage, that's just a knife damage, kind of crappy blight, healing herself, dodge, which is good. Healing herself eventually heals stress as well if they kept it the same. Yes, gives to stealth. Glint in the dark, obviously, I mean, it's just pretty much a finisher move, not bad. Lunge, I mean, it's decent damage. He moves you forward too, not bad. Pirouette, obviously can be used in the first 2 positions. Hit the first 2 positions, gives yourself a daze, moves you back 3, so that's pretty good. Repartee, obviously just to attack me, but massive evasion, so that's not bad. And then we have Shadow Fade, which, nah. So that's what I'm saying. There's 0 team abilities on her. 0. You can't heal anybody else. You can't stress heal anybody else. All you can do is do damage. And that's really useful in the first Darkest Dungeon, but I would argue much less useful in Darkest Dungeon 2. It is still good. I know you said, wait, haven't you just said doing damage? Yes. But people need to have some form of helping the team. Repartee is probably the close we get to a team skill just because of the focus token. Other than that, she's hiding, so she makes other people attack. And she's only dodging herself. So, like, it's just, she doesn't offer as much. And her combo tokens doing 50% critical is pretty good, except for the fact that it still might only give you like a 70% chance, which is high. But if you're going to use a combo token, I want it to be pretty much 100%. I want it to be something like the Leper, where you get to automatically hit. Where I want it to be like the Man at Arms. Maybe a stun potential. You know, like, I just want it to be a little better than just a critical, you know. So, I'm not a huge fan of her combo tokens only adding 60%. I wish they just guaranteed a crit, to be honest. I think that'd make her a little better. It'd be better stress heals if you, where is it? Pirouette. Yeah, so Pirouette does not have any combo tokens. But still, like, just getting constant crits on poison darts. You know, you could pop off a decent chunk of damage. You could get blight longer. I mean, what, thrown knife could do like 12. I mean, it could get decent. I think it should just be a guaranteed critical if you're going to do a combo token, because the combo tokens go away. So that's going to be my 2 cents on that. Like I said, her paths are okay. So overall, if I had to pick a worst character, I'm going to say the Grave Robber solely on the fact that she does not have skills that help the party. Because you go to the Occultist, he can obviously heal. And I didn't even mention, by the way, the Occultist 0% heal the whole ways up, and still only ever being, what, 33%. I wish they made it less than 50% and made it at least 50% when you upgrade it, because 33% is really low, and healing 50% of someone with like 30 HP is not a lot, to be honest. So I do feel like Weird Reconstruction is horribly underpowered in this game, even with the 100% critical heal. It feels underwhelming. But yeah, he is obviously utility central. He can heal people, weaken the enemy, and all of that stuff. We just mentioned the Leper is very good at tanking. He has the ability to get combo tokens, decrease enemies. You know, like, he has ways to just make people attack him and become extremely tankable. And then we get to the Runaway. She can obviously blind enemies, which is really good, because that's a form of stun if an enemy misses to kind of waste their turn, make them vulnerable. She can heal teammates. She can remove, where is it? She can remove stealth. Yeah. There we go. Allies get their blind removed as well. Like, you know, there's a lot she can actually do for her team Firestarter, so that's why. The other 3 are just much more team players. Literally, the Grave Robber is all about me, all about semi-gimmick damage, which I'm not a huge fan of. So, I'm going to say that Grave Robber's the worst purely on the fact she's not a team player, but let me know what you think. Thank you for watching.